Hi everyone, welcome to the Node.js TSC meeting of the 14th of August 2024. I'm, oh, what? Sorry. And okay, hopefully this is good. And yeah, here we go. Everyone, welcome to the Node.js TSC meeting we are live of the 14th. We are live. Sorry about this. I got redirected and got an error. So funny enough. So we followed our usual structure for the agenda. And first of all, let's see if there are any announcements. I think the biggest announcement that we have is that we have dates for the Node.js Collaborator Summit. Okay, so if you could think of if you think of coming or sending a proposal, I think it's about time. I think we do have a venue. Okay, so here we go, and you can find all the descriptions in issue 419 of the OpenJS Foundation/Summit repo. So here we go. And yay, it's a good thing. Okay, we do have something. We need, please, all the TSC members stay in after the meeting. We're going to finalize the decision for the venue. I think we have a very good solution inside the city, which in fact will also have good AV if as promised, if it goes as promised. So it seems it's going to be the best of all worlds.
For the sake of people listening in, we're talking about the summit in Dublin.
Yeah, then the summit in Dublin will be November 7th to 8th.
The date or
2024. And it will be in the city center, around the Liberties area. And you can, there is also NodeConf before that. So if you plan to do both, you could do both or do one. It's going to be a long week in Ireland. So bring a raincoat if you're coming. And thinking about rain is actually pretty good because the few fasts that are in Europe right now, this is scorching hot at the minute. So, you know, we dream rain at this point. Okay, great. So this is the first announcement that we have. It's not locked in yet, but probably will be locked in the next few days or today or tomorrow anyway. So you could start sending the talk proposals for this. Only phone. Cool. So this is the first announcement. Second good announcement. I don't have one. Good. If somebody else has an announcement. Well, I think we shipped the new Node 22 release, which included the new strip types flag. So congratulations to all the people involved. Okay, so next one up is I need to remember all of you to nominate people for the contribution spotlight. So please nominate people that have been helping in the past, recently, whatever, something that can inspire others. There are no updates for CPC and board meetings, unfortunately. And yeah, so okay, and so let's move to the discussion. So the first one is the conversion to enterprise accounts, which has been sitting for some time. Okay, so I don't know what we want to do with this. This has been on the agenda for a bit. So I'm going on vacation tomorrow, so I will not be able to do it before I came back. If somebody wants to be willing to do it, then pretty much, okay.
There
Or
are no objections, right?
no, I think I can just convert it if we think it's a good thing. We can try with the first one and then see how it goes.
Sounds good to me.
I can just run it right now if you want, if we are all in agreement.
Go for it.
Go for it. Okay. Done. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
I've done it. Let's see. Oh, okay. So we have organizations with a Node.js org within it. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I am going to say I've done the first one. Let's see what that says. And here we go, people. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how this work, but and yep, okay, great. I can't do it. I don't seem to be able to type things today. So here we go. Okay, so this is the first one, and done for the does anybody know how? Okay. Okay, this is over there. Perfect. Now, second item of today is, which was posted by Rafael. We need to discuss landing 53619 on v22, which is the new detect module flag, and enable it by default.
So the flag is already on the 22.x, right?
No.
The PR is no.
No, the PR is not on 22. It's been landed on main. Okay, it was not released yet.
Yeah, but the flag is already even on v 20.x.
On 22.
And on 20 as well. The flag is there, but I think the
flag
PR
is
is
there,
making
sorry.
the flag on
Yes.
the ID.
Okay. Yes. Sure. That you're right. So these PR unflag, like not remove the flag, enable the flag by default. And the flag is there on both 20 and 22. And the question is, are we unflagging on 22? Personally, I think it's okay to unflag and then revert if it breaks everything.
I agree.
Just to add a bit of context, so like on 22, whenever you use the TypeScript, like the experimental flag, you also imply the detect module flag. So like in terms of backporting, shouldn't be like you shouldn't add any more complexity than, because I manually backported the two flags that we added. other than that, I think we can just unflag it and see if it breaks everyone and revert it.
I like, yeah. If nobody objects, I will remove the don't land on 22 on flags. Okay. So I'm writing something. We discussed this in the TSC meeting today.
We know,
Antoine, sorry, you're breaking up.
do we know why it was labeled? Sorry. Do we know what did the label?
I have no idea. I don't know the history.
The idea is whether we should backport it to unflag it on 23 first and see how it goes before we backport it to other release lines instead of just go straight with backporting.
But it's not backported. 22 is made now.
Sorry?
There's no 23. It's made.
Yes, the idea is to not unflag it for now because 22 is out.
Yes, but it's not LTS, so
Oh, wait.
I think we can take some risks since it's going to be LTS in October, and we still have time to do a bit of experimentation before we go into an LTS release. We cut an LTS release, so it's like 23 in terms of long-term support.
This is that's the reason why. Like I don't see
We
why
don't
not.
expect it to be break, right?
No. So there is one there is one situation where it is breaking, okay, which it's explained in the text, okay, is that there will be some thrown error in without this change, and now so in certain situation Node would throw an error before and now is not throwing anymore. That's the change.
It's basically if you try require catch if the code is error require ESM. If anyone is doing that,
Yes.
it's not going to work anymore.
Well, it's not going. Yes, this is correct.
And it's not certain that the detection is fully correct because you can, if you have const module equals something, that changes the interpretation of the module. Because if you have const modules equals something, it will get detected as ESM, even though if you're doing some kind of typo like const module equals require module, that's a mistake you can make when writing CommonJS. Even though you intended to be CommonJS, but now Node will interpret it as ESM.
So this is true. So you are saying that we should not land on 22 because you think it's major, or because you think it's possibly breaking and we can, postpone it till, I don't know, later on after we ship 23?
I guess it depends on how we want, like if there is potential breakage, how we want to roll out the breakage. You can also, for example, you can release it in 23, try to fix bugs before you backport it to 22. or you just release it to 22 and break and fix your regressions over there.
So, like, from this kind of, from past experience of features like this, okay, or features that might be breaking or not breaking, okay, my experience with these is, unless we get with there in a, like, up until they are on an LTS line, we don't see bugs. Like, we see very little bugs. Like, the odd case show up when they are in an LTS line.
Didn't we have a 22 that 0.5.1 release? What was that for? I don't remember anymore.
Sorry,
That
there.
was
We have a
that was a regression.
22.5.1 release for what? I think
Yeah,
we
that
have.
was regression, and loads of people complained about that. So, it depends what it is. I think if it's a bug that's revealed just by running Node, the chances are we'll find out. If you have to activate flags, then people will have to be proactive to find those bugs by proactively activating the flag.
Or we have that FS close bug that people catched.
The Node, the 2251 was caught by lots of people, and we spun a very quick turnaround revert. So I think it's not that nobody uses current, but I think it really depends on the nature of what it is we land and how people interact with it, and how, if there was a break, what would you need to do in order to encounter the break. For the file system regression one, I mean, basically people just ran npm install or yarn. Any package manager install was broken. For this, I think there's question marks over this for potentially breaking edge cases. So we don't know, I guess, who might be doing the behaviors that we suggest may potentially break. So without knowing who might hit those and in what circumstances, it's hard to say, even if it was an LTS, whether they'd actually hit it in anger without, doing some sort of particular edge case operation.
So the take here is, if somebody, like, depends really when we want feedback on this. So if we want feedback immediately, then it's okay. If we want feedback immediately, we can unflag it. If we want to work in stabilizing in stabilizing 22 instead, then we keep it flagged. So this is essentially the take. I don't know if both approach makes sense. Okay, probably the question is, what's the appetite? Like, we could take this as part of the 23 release announcement. Okay, yeah. Rui says, I think early feedback is more valuable in this case. Yeah, this is my take. Okay. Like, Joey, how far are you opposed on releasing? On
I'm not necessarily opposed to. I just wonder what's the strategy of dealing with the breakage. Do we have? I guess we can look into CICGM or I mean, at the end of the day, if is very breaking, we can just do a patch release that, just set it to true again, set it to false again.
Yeah, that's my take. Okay, I think we can just revert it and that's it. Like I don't see, like, the only reasoning where I can see a benefit in not shipping on 22 is we are essentially 1.5 months from marking this LTS, like 2 months from marking this LTS. So we might want to say, no, this is too risky. We are not doing it.
I also think it's fine to wait for 23. I mean, it's not like we can say, hey, we think this is too risky and it's a major change and ship it in 23. But then we have the same problem where it's an odd version and like not everyone is going to use it. So we go back and we need to wait even more time that it goes into an LTS and people start using it.
Frankly, I think we will need to revert to blend it on 22 at some point. Okay. Like, I don't see that we will not, like, we can treat this as Ember major. People are really wanting this thing. And if we don't get feedback from it, it's going to be problematic. Antoine?
Yeah, I think for knowing if we need to revert, right? That seems like sure it's we are close to 22 being LTS, but if it's just about reverting, like if we're okay with the possibility of it needs an additional release just so we revert.
Okay. I think it's good to do that. Okay. Mostly because if we need to revert it, we can consider it Semver major and we can consider it done. Like we can settle the decision. I think that can be a good outcome of the discussion.
I think my take would be we could just ship it to 22, but we need to at least look at some Sitgen results or similar.
The releaser team always look at Sitgen, right? Before releasing. So they will notice.
I remember the last one didn't have a Sitgen coverage. Do I remember correctly?
It did, but there were some issues with Sitgen. So one was that the Jenkins job didn't actually. So the Sitgen failed to install the modules, and that didn't actually fail the Jenkins job because the Jenkins job was treating was treating no tests in the test results file as passing. So the fact that it failed before attempting to run anything that was a bug in the Jenkins setup. The other problem we've got in Sitgen at the moment is there was a regression in npm 10.8.2, or I believe it's a regression. I'm having that discussion with the npm team, whereby if you npm install something without specifying a tag or a version, prior to npm 10.8.2, so 10.8.1 and earlier, npm would install the latest dist tag, but 10.8.2 doesn't. 10.8.2 tries to match the engines field, and if the version of Node you're using to test doesn't match the engines field, it starts trying to heuristically go to an earlier version of the module being installed. So we're actually finding on Node 22 that the CI, npm was installing Sitgen 8.10, where the current Sitgen is 9.2.2. So it was using like an outdated lookup, without any of the modules that were added or fixed up or whatever have you. So there are some issues with Sitgen. It was run, but yeah, for that regression, Sitgen would have caught it, but we weren't alerted to it because the Jenkins job passed and I guess, the actual output wasn't inspected. That has been addressed. So hopefully if Stitching fails now, it should spot issues. It should be running. I changed the job to run to add the latest tag to install Stitching. So at least now Stitching should be by default running the latest version of Stitching. So yeah, I mean it is part of the release process to run it, and then yeah, it relies on people to actually look at the results.
Okay.
And check the results. So yeah, it should be yeah.
So yeah, so I think yes, I think we can land this and to the releasers, let it to the releasers to make the final call. If this breaks too much, don't put it in there. If it does break anything, don't put it in there. Does it make? And if not, if it's breaking, we probably need to flag it as Semver major. Forget about the problem. Are we in agreement with this plan? Are there any objections?
Sounds good.
Okay, let me write something. We agreed to we are to release it in V22, but keep a close look on the results in case of a breakage. If that happens, we might want to consider it, labeling it to V20 as Semver major. Okay. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I think we are good. I don't know if we're going to go a quick update on the strategic initiatives. We have a couple of things to discuss for the Collab Summit. So in case if anybody has some good updates on some strategic initiatives, that might be a good time. Doesn't look like we have volunteers for that. So please remember, folks that are watching this, that our calendar is public and you can subscribe to it going to nodejs.org/calendar. So, and you can get notifications when we are live. So, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and see all of what we think that we have done. So thank you very much for watching this, and everybody else, please stay on. We need